Hey, Sky here, and I'm making this video to share with you about one of my favorite, most dear practices, and that's the practice of writing your prayer. And firstly, when I use the word prayer, I don't mean religious or secular prayer. To me, prayer is the intimate dialogue that we are in with life that leads to a perpetual unfolding. To me, that's prayer. And so when we write our prayer, firstly, I like to first spend at least 20 minutes or so in a personal practice like meditation or body movement that helps me center, ground, and orient. And then from there, from this space, I'll gather my journal. You can get a piece of paper or your journal, and then I write. Now, firstly, we need to begin wherever we are. So if the prayer isn't present, if the expression isn't present yet, then we just write, we begin where we are. Often we need to cathart with our writing. We need to have a catharsis. We need to work through some energy, and writing is a very powerful way to do that. So begin where you are. And then at some point, whether in the beginning or in the end, you will get to the moment where you will write your prayer. However you write your prayer is beautiful. The one element that I encourage you to have in your prayer is an affirmative statement about what you are evolving into right now. So what I mean by that is that in any moment we are on a trajectory. And when we center and ground and are in our devotional practice, hopefully it is true that we align with the trajectory of our evolution that is towards the light. And so in writing our prayer, we make an affirmative statement about what we are evolving into. We work through the muck a bit, the psychological stuff that we need to, and then we get to a place of simplicity and clarity about what we're evolving into. Doesn't mean we need to feel simple or clear, but we can sense this is the direction. And so we make that affirmative statement in our prayer. An affirmative statement, to me, not to me, an affirmative statement means that we write it affirmatively, like I am positive, affirmative, I am growing into having more clarity about where to live, or I am now receiving clarity and guidance about where to live, or I am praying for clarity and guidance and support in embodying and sensing and detecting this clarity and this guidance from life, from the reflections around me, from the divine as it speaks to me in mysterious ways. These are just examples. So an affirmative statement of what you are evolving into in this moment. And I love this practice so much because in this practice we get to work with the power of the word. And the power of the word is huge. Words were originally magic. And they still are, although you wouldn't guess that if you were looking down at the human race from above. Words are very misused. But they are magic. And when we sit down in recognition of their true nature as symbols communicating between us, humans, with the veil on over us, over our perception, who can't necessarily have full access to our range of psychic abilities to communicate things to Creator, the other realms, and so on. When we consider that and we look at how words are symbols that can be read by life, by Creator, whatever terms resonate for you, and then we can appreciate that writing our prayer, that sitting down with sincerity and witnessing ourselves in this profound act is very profound, in particular when we recognize its profundity. The more we sit down and anchor ourselves during this practice, the more we anchor ourselves in recognition of the miraculous power of writing as a way to communicate with Creator, with Source, the more we recognize that as we're writing and feel it and sense it, even if very, very subtly, by the mysterious, miraculous nature of life, somehow the act of writing the prayer becomes more powerful because we've witnessed it as such. I know it is true in my bones from my own experiences that writing, it is immediately communicated to existence and received. And I have experienced miraculous confirmation of that. So I'll tell you one quick story. Once I was, when I was bringing in the prayer for the full course Life as Immersive Prayer that I offer, and I wrote out a prayer about this course, and it was the very beginning days as the visions for it were coming through, and I thanked Life for inspiring me with the vision of this course, and asked for Life to respond to me if this is really what was asked of me, or this was really an expression that I was meant to fill out. And I went downstairs and I started to make outside and sat on the couch outside, and I started to take notes about the course. And after a few minutes, I looked up, and right in front of me, directly in front of me on the ground, was an owl feather this big, no joke, like I've never seen before. And it smelled like eucalyptus. It was so beautiful. And this was a direct response, I have no doubt. And so it doesn't always need to be feathers, of course. There's so many ways life can speak to us. But this was one particular moment and one story I can share with you. And so I encourage you to write your prayers and to experiment with this mysterious magic of words and writing in this way. Thank you.